Greetings from the secret grotto. I found this little place in a back corner of the Irvine Spectrum where I walk my dogs every night. I know it's probably not the best thing to do with COVID, but they enjoy it so much. So Ollie, the black dog, has a course that he leads us on. Same course every night. And I do that after work as I walk around. And Rudy wants to come up and say hi. This is little Rudy boy. Rudy's the newer of the two dogs. He's got a little bit of an eye leakage problem, so we're working on that. We're trying to keep his eyes nice and clean. He's a real sweetie. He's a Chihuahua Pomeranian mix, perhaps a little bit of a, what else did we learn that he might be? Can't quite remember, but he's got all the attitude of a Pom and all the feistiness of a Chihuahua. He's a ankle biter, as they say. He's really taken to me now that I'm really the only one home now with Emily in her place and Yumiko going back to work. So I'm home all day, every day. Practically, I just get out of bed, get to my desk. I have a whole routine. I take the dogs for walks several times a day. One long walk in the morning, a nice long walk midday, another one in the afternoon, and then another one in the evening. So 4 walks a day. Hello, small five, right? Small five, is that your handle? Hey, can you give me a sound check? How does the audio come through? Can you hear all the background noise? There's some traffic. Is it good? Can you hear the traffic noise? How's the traffic doing? Not too bad, I hope. So I'm trying to find different places to do this. Good morning from the Netherlands, 2006 Crusader 2006. It sounds good. I can't hear the traffic sound. Good, I'm glad to hear that. The audio is good. I barely hear the traffic. Sounds great, can hear airplanes. Great, the very quiet white noise. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. And another nice thing about this spot is there's no background ambient music, no Justin Bieber. Not that I dislike Justin in any way. I just want to dwell for just a moment on the Netherlands. I just love your country so much. I know I keep repeating this. It's a mark, I think, that you need to move on in life when you keep telling the same damn stories over and over, right? But every time I see someone comment on the Netherlands, I just have to comment. And it's not from just one or two experiences. It's from repeated experiences. Literally, I think it was every month, or was it every 6 weeks, I would go to Naarden and Amsterdam to work for a week. And every time it was like a dream. Those gardens in downtown Amsterdam there, by the canals, I don't know what direction was it, west of the downtown area with all the canals, that beautiful gardens, and not too far from the Anne Frank house, I think it was. Just incredible. And the people, amazing. Food, incredible. I could make this whole video about the Netherlands. Hope to go take my wife there. It's one of our first destinations. Well, anyway, I kind of took on the chore of, I challenged myself to try to do this regularly, maybe even daily. We'll see. It was a good day. Little Five says, by the way, I did not get the technology tech job, but our union president will help me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that didn't happen. I hope that he said he will let me work at technology department as a sub to get my expertise. Beautiful. That is the way to do it. Especially, is that a government position or is that private sector? Little Five. In any IT or any job at all, any chance to get your foot in the door is great, because a lot of it is about the personality, getting to know you. People like to have the people that they know around them, and if they like you, they'll find a way to keep you there. You'll work for a school district. Okay, good. So I hope they have a good pension, perhaps. And are you planning to stay there for the long haul? Wish I'd known about. Well, no. I kind of wish I didn't. I'm glad I didn't know about pensions younger in my life. Very glad that I didn't know about that. I only wound up in a job with a pension at age 50, and I'm gonna, when I finish, if I can stay as long as I need to. Let me hold the dogs. Here comes somebody. Hold on, guys. I'm just gonna hold the dog here. If I can, not really. I'm a school bus driver, so benefit is not that good. Okay, but you're going for the tech job, right? So the benefits might be better. Living on the edge, yes. The thing was, I'm glad that I didn't. If I had, I call it golden handcuffs. When I first got my job, my first time a job in the tech industry, that tech job is a full-time. Get your foot in the door, work any way you can. Scrub the floors, do whatever you take, and just knock it out of the ballpark and get that position. But watch out. I don't know how. May I ask how old you are? Small 5. Do you prefer small 5 or little 5? Do you mind me asking how old you are? You've done some amazing things. Yeah, thank you, Lee. And that's the point. When you worked in the Netherlands, when did I work in the Netherlands? That was in the 95 to 98. You just turned 34. Okay, that's probably a good age. I don't want to sound condescending or like I'm speaking like I'm of any, know anything, but that's probably a good age. I'm glad I didn't find out about these pension jobs. Small 5 or little 5, both are fine. Awesome. If I had known about that at a much younger age, the golden handcuffs would have latched on to me, right? Because the thing is, once you get started in those pension jobs, you hear the stories and you watch every year people retiring at age 60. Where I worked before in the county of Riverside, they would tend to depart on a December, and they would walk away with 50, 70, 100% or even more. I know a guy that just retired 2 months ago. I think he's at 120% of his salary. I mean, he took a pay increase when he retired because he stayed for 45 years at the one job. So the thing is, if I had known that, if I had, for example, got a job at age 25 that I knew I could stay for 20, 25 years and retire like that, I may never have had any of the adventures that I had, right? And in The Good Life, my book makes me wish that I'd worked for Microsoft. Yeah, true. But again, those golden handcuffs, right? There's a principle here in the book called, there it is, principle number 14. The risk, and someone just went to the website from Bothell, WA. Is that Washington? Welcome. The risk of avoiding risk, number 18. The risk of avoiding risk, that principle highlights this danger. Yes, my book is on Amazon. Just go ahead and type in Going Alone, and you'll find it in either e-format, or you can buy the print copy like this. You can also send me an email, dinnerbytheriver@gmail.com, and I'll gladly send you a copy either way. Let me hold on to the dog. But the point was, the risk of avoiding risk is two-pronged, right? There's the surface level risk and the deep level risk of life. And someone just went to the website from St. John's, is that the Netherlands? NL? No, is that Netherlands? NL? Are you out there? Thanks, love your philosophy. Oh, thank you, Lee Crow. Hehe. I know you. I can't pronounce your name. Kanchong Paltan Tengye. Newfoundland. Ah, okay. Very good. So the very aware, mono-aware. Mono-aware. Like a mono with a focus, right? Or just closing one ear. Matey, just one eye. I told you guys my one eye's going out, right? It's all fuzzy now. I talked to the doctor the other day and the nurse, and they were like, call me Peachy. Okay, it might take me a while to remember that. I'm 56 after all, but I'll try to remember Peachy. Mono no aware. Sorry. Mono no aware. Sorry. What does that mean? NL equals the Netherlands. Okay, very good. Yeah, of course I would see the little NL bumper stickers on people's cars sometimes, right? I gotta get me one of those. So you can get the book there. But anyway, cycling all the way back around, the risk of avoiding risk. The surface level risks are the obvious things, right? The stuff when you come up and your parents teach you, get a good education, get a good job, find a good girl or guy to marry, start a family, get a mortgage, start your savings, right? And once you have those things in place, you're setting yourself up for a secure future. A retirement at age 62 or 65 or something like that, and have your mortgage paid off and grandchildren guaranteed, possibly in your daughterage, something to do. That's the surface level risk of life. But then there's also what the hippies used to talk about, the deep stuff, right? pursuing whatever it is that sparks within you, to quote Marie Kondo, right? Marie Kondo. What gives your life meaning and spark? What adventure might you want to pursue, and what is that thing that you want to strain a term to actualize yourself, to find yourself. The hippies were onto something with that. So that's the thing. I would recommend trying to balance life with that, especially in your 20s. Give yourself the whole decade of your 20s to that deep stuff, right? Backpack across Europe, learn another language, live in another country, get a master's degree in something, or whatever it is, whatever the case may be. And then after that, settle down some roots in your 30s, find someone to marry, get a career going, start a family. I do believe having a family is a very important thing, for reasons I'll talk about later. So the deep level and the surface level. If in my 20s, thank you, Lee Crow, I appreciate that. I was just watching Fiddler on the Roof a few weeks back, and one guy would always say, well put, about his own stuff. Like old times walking in Japan. Does this feel like that? Except with doggies? So the thing was, if when I was 25 I had stumbled across a public sector job, I wouldn't be doing this. I would have nothing to say. I was young and dumb. Now I'm still paying my credit card debt, so I guess I won't start my family until I pay off my credit cards. It just takes me back. I'm still paying off my credit cards too. Tokaido Road, nice, yeah. So a little five, don't. You're not alone in that. I'm 56 and perpetually. I make a good living now, but I also live in a very expensive place, and I've got putting my daughter through college and lots of mistakes. I continue to make mistakes, and one day I'll get back on my feet. But I've paid off my debt a couple of times, but then I managed to reaccrue it and then get it, and then it's life. But anyway, the thing was, I wouldn't be able to make these videos right now if I had done that. What the hell would I have to say right now, right? A lot of the reason that I'm able to make these videos is that I've lived like 6, 7, 8 lives in 56 years, and that experience, that cumulative thing of trying and succeeding and trying and failing and trying and kind of, wow, that was interesting, and trying and crashing desperately and climbing back up, all that has done a couple of things. One, it's given me a lot of experience, and two, it's satisfied that deep level, that deep interest of wanting to savor life. At this point in my life, I'd be just fine dying tomorrow. I don't want to die tomorrow. But as I made in that last video, I think it was yesterday's video, right? About the being always ready to die. My bucket list, anything on my bucket list now is superficial, right? It's all just after dinner mints. The main banquet's been had. The main big challenge of having a family, the main big challenges of settling down with someone, finding a good human being to spend my life with, namely my wife. Struggling to find a way to work together, to overcome our differences, and to be together. We're closing in on 30 years, or 30. It's been 32 years actually, not closing in on 30 years. 32 years together, raising a child to adulthood, to get her to that, to have had the experience of careers, to have pursued of some ambition, walking in Japan. I went truly walking in Japan and a band in Japan. That was just the opening act. To me, this was my life. This was the end. This was the thing that I did. The writing of Going Alone. I'm done with that. So now it's just adding drawings for my daughter and maybe finishing off the other book. I don't care if I ever finish that stuff. If I have a stroke tomorrow and keel over, well, for one, my wife she'll get a good payday because the government job that I have, she'll get a ginormous check within like 2 weeks. And she'll be set for life. So my family will be well cared for. My art is complete. I know my wife and daughter and the people around me that are my family, they know that I love them. Even the people that I don't talk to regularly, they know I care about them too. New visitor from Stuart, Florida. Hello. Strokes are unacceptable. Yeah, I shouldn't talk like that. I just picked stroke. But yeah, I'm sorry for anybody that has experienced that. Well said, like old times walking in Japan. Thank you. I was young and dumb. There we talked about that. Yep, me too. I'm old and dumb. It just takes me back. Tokaido Road, nice. You remember that? That channel's done very well without me. I have all those channels. Every now and then I'll pop in. Very rarely, every couple of years, I'll pop in and take a look. Those old Tokaido Road videos, they do well. Well done. Your daughter seems like a nice young lady. Yeah, she is. Quite an adventurer. Wishing you a long life. Thank you. Agreed. Tenge? What is that? Tenge? Is that Tengu? Tenge? Strokes are unacceptable. Thank you. You should add a new R1250 GS to your bucket list. The new one looks really nice. I wish I could get one. Thank you, by the way. I mean, not thank you, but thank you for the encouraging, for the suggestion. By the way, thanks for introducing me to Siberia. I went there. You did? You went to Siberia, California, Lee? And before you answer, go ahead and answer, Lee. I'm going to mention about the new motorcycle. I had a chance to ride one, a new GS, about 2 weeks ago, and I turned it down because I didn't want to experience it. I love my current GS, but maybe. But I don't need that stuff. I mean, it sounds cliche to say this, like I'm beyond all that, but I really am. It's just, stuff. Who needs it? Hi Kurt, does YouTube tell you who's watching and where they're from? I see you guys. I see that there's 14 people watching. I can see 5 thumbs up, and I can see your names as you come by. I don't know of any way to see a list of who's there. Yeah, I messaged you, but you were busy with life. You did, Lee? Were you the one that went by with your wife, or your husband? Lee, I don't know if that could be that's a man's name, yeah. Because I did get messaged about a couple months back about a husband and wife that said they were going to go by. They were beautiful videos, Kurt. This is Mary C. Oh, hi, Mary. Hi. Good to see you. Claycat. Oh, of course, Claycat. You've been a friend of mine for a long time, Lee. It was a few years back. Oh, yeah, Lee. I think I remember. You mentioned it, and you said you were going to go by. 2017. Did you get over to the bridge? Did you find it? Did you walk over? It's not hard to find. You said a new visitor from Stuart, Florida. That's me. Yeah, welcome to the website. Stuart said, how did Stuart, let me ask you, or from Jeff, how did you see in the description of the video, there's a link there? Is that right? Is that how you found the website? I've always wondered why when I start this thing up, and whenever I start these videos, I start getting notices that people are showing up at the website. I sent you a message? Did you go to the bridge? Did you see any of the artifacts of was I existing? It was 2017? I might not have had anything. I don't know if the seat was under the bridge or the tripod or anything like that. And I sent you a message. It's so. I've been to the bridge, but I didn't see the Japanese books. The books are on the other bridge. There's 2. The books are on the one to the east. My writing bridge is the bridge to the west. The writing bridge is about half a mile from Siberia. The book with the bridge with the writing books is about a mile east. Yeah, so I'm sorry I wasn't clear on that. Did you see the ruins, Lee? There's not much to see, is it? I've been watching you since you began your channel in Japan. No kidding, Jeff. You've been with me that long? That's a long time. Thank you for your long support. There's so many of you that have been around. Yes, you filmed them. Lee, are you the photographer that has the photography website? Wasn't there a ghost bridge in Japan? Yes, there is a haunted, you see the video is called A Visit to the Haunted Bridge. Emily and I went there. Jeff, I know who you are. I remember visiting your website. You've got a really splendid photo, particularly, I liked all your photos. You've got the website on the train tracks with the Siberia thing, right? You've got the site, it says Siberia, and you can see the Black Mountain in the distance, and the tracks are going along. Is that your work, Jeff? Hi there, I've been watching for years as well. Yes, Heather, I know your name for sure. I just didn't, Mary, of course, I've known Mary forever. Claycat, and of course you've had the same black kitty cat emoji forever as well. Jeff, that's not you. Wait, not me. No, I'm talking to the other, wait, hold on. I'm getting people confused. Was it, I'm all messed up. Lee. So Lee, is that you, Lee, you have the website, right? You have the website, yes, I think so. Vids, I've been watching for a while, very late here in the UK. Oh, maybe there's Lee. My brain is all crossed up. Yes, have a little pity on me, little doggy. Well, if it's late in the UK, isn't that funny? It's late in the UK and late. What time is it in Japan? I don't know. So, anyway, well, I don't want you to stay up too late. Right. I have a YouTube site, but nothing special. Oh, that's what Lee says. But you do have a website, right? And you do have your photos on the website, I think, right? I'm in the Central Valley of California, so I'm in the same time zone. Heather, I know. Yeah, Heather. Are you still working for the city as an IT person? Yes. I made a video about 3 videos back or 4 videos back what I do. I'm an IT project manager for the city of Ventura. And there's somebody just popping into the website from Hialeah, Florida. Welcome, Hialeah, Florida. Don't forget, while you're there, you can subscribe. I always prided myself living in Japan that I never asked people to click like or subscribe, but you can subscribe to the website. And even though I never send out any updates, if I ever do, you'll get one. I'm going to request a copy of your book through your website. Very good. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. If it doesn't go through, send me an email, dinnerbytheriver@gmail.com. It's in the description. But and there's a visitor from Rotherham, United Kingdom on the website. One of you out there, welcome. Welcome. Wow, Rotherham. It's about 10:30 a.m. in Japan. It's about 11 p.m. here. 10:30 a.m. That means Molly must be working right now. I really enjoyed your perspective on life, unique and true to self. By the way, thank you, Andy. I have a message for you, Molly, if you see this. Molly, I realized that you remember there was that incident between you and I a few years back after I left a message calling you, hey friend, or hello friend, and you remembered that the friend was kind of, when we were banging, back in the KVLOG days, I used to sometimes refer to that as kind of you interpreted it, and maybe I represented it that way as a shorthand for people that I didn't know, right? I would say, hello friend, kind of a generic people that were writing to me, right? And you took it that way, that maybe that was how our relationship had degenerated to you were, hey friend, like that. I think I have empirical evidence that that's not the case. Here comes some people, let me hold the dogs. That empirical evidence is when you popped in to the chat, I think it was 2 videos ago, I instinctively said, I saw you. Hold on just a second, wait till it passes. Don't bark, dogs. Don't bark. Don't bark. As soon as I saw you had popped in, Molly, do you remember? The first thing right out of my mouth, I said, Molly, hey friend, there you are. I didn't say it quite like that. It came out a little more naturally. And I was thinking about that afterwards. That was a knee-jerk reaction, calling you friend. That was the most genuine form of friend that I could possibly say. It was certainly not a placeholder for, insert strange person's name here, right? So I just wanted to point that out to you, and I hope you didn't take it that way when you heard me say that. But I thought to myself, wow. So using that term I never really meant it to be a placeholder. It was always, at least for you, a term of endearment, and I wouldn't want to ever use refer to anybody like a placeholder like that. Hey, Cal type says, hey Kurt, how are you? I'm doing good, thank you. How long have people been watching, Kurt? I've been watching since 2013, Lee says. Well, thank you, Lee, that's a long time. I'm doing okay. And Alex says 2013. Okay, wow. These joints are starting to go out, and my leg joints too. I swim every day. I know I'm kind of flabby, but I do. I don't swim a lot. I swim about 8 laps in the pool every day. Have you kept up your Japanese language skills? I never had Japanese language skills. I'm very poor in Japanese. But I told my wife, and I mean it most sincerely, when we go back to Japan, hopefully I'm going to be in a position if we go back to Japan after I retire, I would like to do like my good friend Molly did when he went to Japan to learn Japanese, which was he got a regular job, right? Doing something that I have to use the language. I'm not sure what that would be, work in a kombini. I don't know if you probably have some good skills to do that. Something that would really throw me in to the deep end, not an English teacher. When was the last time you visited Amboy? Cal asks. Good question. I haven't been to Amboy for 6 months. I think June was the last. June, July, August, September, October, November. No, 4 months. And there's a reason. Ever since I took this new job back in December, my life has been laser focused. I'm in a very challenging position right now, and I really need to focus if I'm going to succeed. No kidding. They'll fire me if I fail. They should fire me if I fail. If my boss sees this, you should fire me if I fail. Because you deserve someone who will succeed. You don't deserve someone who will fail. So with that in mind, I'm trying very hard to up my skills. When I first came to Japan, I wasn't qualified. I was lucky they didn't fire me in the first 6 months. I climbed up my skill level, managed to get a new job after that. After that, climbed my skill level to that level. And then I got this job. And now I'm climbing, and I'm just hoping I can get high enough before my big projects come due that I can be worthy to stick around. So if you guys see me back in Japan, like after February or March, that means I didn't succeed. I'm unemployed and I'm back in Japan, gonna try to start over again. I've got the whole plan. That's a good, I should make a video on it. I've got a whole packed parachute plan laid out, you know, when I'm laid up, so that when they call me up and say, Kurt, yeah, we've had enough of you. It's been nice, but have a nice day. When that happens, it's a 7-step process. Bam, 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 bam. And my whole family and I will be back in Japan, safely ensconced in our old life with the memory of this life. So anyway, let's see. Amboy, you did well with that older Japanese gentleman you met that took you to his farm. Yeah, I could get by, you know. I did pass the level 1, you know, those 4 levels of test. I did pass the level 1 test. I can get by, but I watch people like Mully, who just pata, I'm probably not even saying that right, and Victor, and especially people like Hiko, and even Sam. I mean, Sam, oh my God, he's incredible. And I'm just, you know, But that's largely because I didn't take it seriously. I was focused. I was beginning this in Japan, and it's a shame because it took me away from my family a lot. Well, not a lot. Every other Sunday, I would go out into the mountains in Japan. You know, people thought that I was never home, but I was just basically every other Sunday. And now it's the same thing every other Friday now, but not since I started this job. 2007 for Lee. Thank you, Lee. A sad story. Wow, data ass. Data ass? Data as? What does that mean? That sounds like something like an IT thing you'd say to some chick with good ass. Oh man, data ass. That town and its old 1950s vibes. I love it, especially the motel there. Yes, the motel is incredible. You know, one guy owns it. He's the head of the Don Pollo, I think, chicken thing. And when I was out there for the you know, the Mad Mike's rocket launch, after Mike crashed when he landed and he hurt himself, and we were all gathered around and checking on Mike, and I stepped away to let the rescuers do their thing, and I realized that the guy next to me was the guy that owns Amboy and owns all that chicken, that pollo thing. And I turned to him and I said, I want to thank you for letting Mike use this land, and I never tried his chicken, but I said someday I'm going to try your chicken, but no, I won't because I'm a vegan. But it was kind of interesting. Hey, you're the guy. It's like standing next to Colonel Sanders, right? Okay, here we go. Sorry, autocorrect. No problem. Smart man. Best luck. I don't know who you're talking to. Me? Not smart. Thank you, though. Yikes, knock on wood. It was a beautiful story, Kurt. Thank you. Hello again. Sorry for joining late. Well, we're just glad you're here, Reese. You took Emily out. I took Emily out. Yeah. Data as was supposed to be Darcast. You should see the letter yesterday. I'm going to tell you guys about this. Hold on. I was so proud of Emily. Has he done anything with it? With the town? Not much. Just kind of preserved it. Welcome, Reese. Lee says thank you. Lee, Cal, I'd love to see it be revived. Yes, that would be neat. Hey, Kurt, the fire in California is still there. Yes, there's more fires now. Not so much here, but elsewhere. Anyway, I wanted to tell you, Emily has a part-time job, and she and another coworker quit their job because basically the owner of the facility, it's a food establishment, was basically not taking a very good care of the place. It was dirty, and they were also not giving a darn about the COVID protocols. And masks were essentially optional. They were sending Yumiko and other coworkers out into situations that were very, very dangerous, right? And now Yumiko's not necessarily extreme, but she is conscientious. She's a rule follower. She's Japanese after all. Wow, does she have time for her studies with her job? She has 5 classes now, and a boyfriend, and until last night she had a full-time job. Anyway, she shared with me her resignation letter, which was about a paragraph. No, not a paragraph, a whole page long. Yumiko called it an essay, and it was, and I was so impressed by how fluent and principled and eloquent the letter was, and not not necessarily accusatory, or although they should have been perhaps a little more, because they really just don't give a damn. And how she had given them a chance. She had given notice that she couldn't work in that environment and asked them to please make modifications, basically follow the law. I mean, they were even operating without a permit, without proper permits to do the things that they were doing. And so she quit. So now she's unemployed as of last night. But anyway, kudos to you on your principles, Emmy, and kudos to you on your English skills. That whole page-long thing, not a typo in it. Wow, does she have time for, okay, be stuck with your IT project. Best luck with your IT project. Smart that you've got your parachute just in case. Yeah, I've got my parachute. Thank you, I appreciate that. Now, what did you want me to call you? It was some cute names. Yeah, I told you, yeah, you might have to remind me twice. Let me know. An amazing daughter she is, although I can never get her to clean up her dishes. Sounds like Emily has a full plate. Best luck to her. Thank you. So true, Tenge. Peachy. I'm gonna remember that. So anyway, I'm gonna close. I promised I would read one principle every time. This is the purpose of this video. And we're gonna read yesterday. Oh, this is a new copy of the book, because I had a chance. I always keep the copy in my bag just in case I can give it to somebody. Yesterday I ran across an 18-year-old man, a young man, that was basically in exactly my situation at age 17-ish, when I was 17-ish, where his family had broken up. He's basically on his own. He doesn't know what he's going to do in terms of college, and was a little bit lost. And I happened to have my book in the bag, and I said, hey, may I give you a copy of my book, Going Alone, which was basically deals with, it's basically me writing about the experience of life, starting off from exactly where you are, young man. And so he took it. Let's see if he gives it. So this is a newer copy. Oh wow, this is a newer copy, and this one has illustrations in it. I'll show you a couple. Okay, like here's the illustration of the chapter called The Cast, and Emily completed this one. I don't think really anybody's seen that one. That's the entrance to Siberia Ghost Town, the tire there. So, and then there's another one. Let's see what else. That one's a little dark. She's gonna lighten that one up for me. That one's a little dark too. Oh, there's the one for the chapter. Oh, and there's someone coming to the website from Hacienda Heights. Hi. There's the drawing from the chapter Going Alone. Illustrations exciting? Yeah. She's gonna illustrate every chapter of the book. I want to show you this one here. This is like 3 or 4 weeks back. I really like this one. This is for the chapter The Good Life, where I'm going to read from right now. And that's a rock with the writing on it. Nothing is enough. Remember we were talking earlier about things and getting past things? Nothing. When we're young, we keep lamenting, nothing is enough. I keep trying. I try to get the better job. Nothing is enough. I get a better car. I get the better gal or whatever it is. And why is nothing satisfied? And then when we get older, we realize, I had the emphasis on the wrong word. It's not nothing is enough. Nothing is enough. It's nothing is enough. And let me read the one thing, and then I'll read some comments and finish the dogs. The second one, principle number 2, is called make good use of time and resources. Here we go. It's just a paragraph. To make good use of these few moments right now, and to dwell very little on past utilization, other than to use such memory to inform my judgment in the direction of improved forward progress. To also make good use of whatever resources are at my disposal, not just for increase, but to spend, share, give, or apply these resources well, and in ways which are in accord with my life objectives and principles. Below are examples of some of the things I would like to be caught doing when death comes at last to utterly snuff out my light. So that's basically saying I want to make good use of every moment of my life as best as possible. Then I've got a list here of all the things that I'd be happy to be caught doing when death comes. It extends to the next page a little bit. Here we go. I'm just going to read the list. Okay. Here's what I like to do when eventually I go, just like my dad, because that's how my dad went. Yeah, but it went quick for him, so it was merciful. I would like to be caught breathing slow and measured breaths, controlling my emotions, thinking deliberately, acting deliberately, remembering and acting upon my responsibilities, preparing a good meal, eating well and very little, helping others, being attentive to my family, doing a good job, providing good value to my employer, learning something new, learning something startlingly new, especially something that blows away one of my paradigms of life where I have to rebuild. But that great, I love that. Reading an excellent book, memorizing poetry which moves me, studying history, imagining the future, enjoying good music, listening to a good lecture, discussion, or debate, challenging what I believe, changing my mind for good reason, admitting that I was wrong, apologizing when necessary, becoming uncomfortable. I like that one if I do say so myself. Becoming uncomfortable. That's one of the things I'd like to be. Oh man, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, what a great way to go, right? Rather than laying back saying, yes, I'm so satisfied. It all makes sense now, and then die. What a shallow life. Withstanding discomfort, suffering well and longer than I thought I could, standing, walking, swimming, or simply moving, making a pet happy. And just a few more. Picking up litter, recording and sharing my own thoughts. Here we go. Accurately recounting the idea of another. That's an important one to me, the ability to accurately understand what somebody is telling me and to be able to recount it back to them or to anyone and have it understood. It's a very hard thing to not play the telephone game and mess it up along the way. Accurately recounting the idea of another. There we go. 3 more. Sleeping deeply, discovering I am wrong, remembering death. So there we go. That's the second principle from Going Alone. Hello, Wamberto. Welcome. Let's see. I've got I'll read a few comments and then I'll get out of here. Finish my dog's walk. I think I started watching around 2009. Clay says maybe earlier. I'm almost 71, Kurt. I am getting old. I know you've been with me forever, Mary. You've been with me. I started in 2006. You were with me when the channel was very small, and I remember you're like an old friend. And well, you are an old friend, right? Not like an old friend. And congratulations, kudos to you at almost 71, being so adept on the internet. And not that older people can't, but I'm struggling as well, and I'm in IT. Kudos to you. I'm jealous, Clay. Illustration's exciting, wonderful. Siberia is a fascinating place. It hides its mysteries well. Yes. You appear and seem more calm and collected now, Kurt. Oh, okay. Maybe I have my moments. You know, I have my up days and my down days. Very cool to have your daughter involved in the book. Yeah, you know what's best about that, A.B. Ducky, is that for the illustrations, I have to tell her about what the principles that surround it. So I just kind of throw the idea at her. We'll sit down and we'll talk as we're driving or something like that. And then she'll go away and write it. And I'm just blown away by the fact that she's able to accurately pick up so much. Here comes a helicopter. That's awesome. I agree, Ducky. Ducky, Ducky, Ducky. Nothing is enough. Oh, I see what you've done there, Ducky. You put the emphasis on enough, on the second enough, rather than from the nothing is enough to nothing is enough. I like that. I think that's even better than putting it on the is. That's very wise. I am intrigued. Oh, hello, sir. Hello, Pirates Bay. Bay, I think. Wow, you are full of wisdom. Well, who knows? I'd ask my daughter. She'll tell you something else. Look, I don't know anything. She was like telling me the other day, you know, if you post something on Instagram, make sure you tag me. I'm like, I don't know how to tag anybody. She rolled her eyes. Hi, Kurt. I know now. It's Tom Wash. Oh, hi, Tom. I know you. I've known you forever, too. One, by the way, you are sober ways, Kurt. I'm sure you will have good passing from the mortal realm into eternity. Well, I hope so, too. I personally believe that I'm going to pass from the mortal realm into oblivion. But wouldn't I be pleasantly surprised to discover otherwise? Oh, you're welcome, Claycat. Thank you. You're very welcome. You should see the J-Vloggers today, Kurt. You were there at the beginning. Well, thank you. You know, the J-Vloggers today have a different challenge ahead of them, right? With this mass market that it is, it's a whole different thing. It was just you know, dumb luck that I happened to be in Japan when all that started. But I do admire them, anybody that can keep at it. In fact, I saw a video, I subscribed to a channel today, I can't remember their name, young couple that they made about 7 videos. They stopped making, they ride bicycles around. They made a delightful video showing their little apartment together. The Hendersons, I think is their last name. Foreign guy, Japanese woman. I like the bus picture. Yeah, the bus picture. That's pretty amazing. Wait a minute, the bus picture, did I show? Oh, yeah, the bus. That's great. That's a really heavy one. How did she become a Christian? Who? Emily? Rachel and June? It's not Rachel and June. They only have like, 300 subscribers. They're a very small channel. So are you asking, how did Emily become a Christian? Well, Emily is not a Christian. We did send her to a Christian school, in fact, for middle school. So she did take religious studies every day. She went to chapel every week for school. She was, taught by, I guess there were, the whole 9 yards. And when she was coming up, I made an active point of never dissuading her from religion or talking crap about it. She knew that neither her mother or believe. Oh, it's Jesus or hell. Okay, that's what you're referring to. That was Emily driving along, and sometimes here in LA, people put stuff up on the bridge, right, on the pedestrian walkways, and as you drive along, you can see messages, like Trump supporters or Biden supporters, but a lot of religious stuff. And she saw a sign someone had put up there that says Jesus or hell. So she got on the speed dial. Dad, it's Jesus or hell. I remember you doing a video on religion and Emily. Well, Emily, she had her moment where after she came back to America, she actually was invited by a friend that she had made to go to church, a girl that became her best friend. And she did. She went to church, for a good long stretch. And one day finally she came, and I really never talked to her about it. But one day of her own volition, she basically kind of came to me, kind of very similar to what my experience, and said, Dad, Mom, I don't think I'm going to be going to the church anymore. I don't think that stuff's true. And okay. So, yeah. And so she was a little bit confused. She asked me about a month or two ago about the difference between agnostic and atheist. And I tried to explain to her, the four categories, about belief and knowledge, right? And how you can combine them. You can be agnostic, atheist, agnostic theist, and all these different things. And so she basically realized that, like me, she's an agnostic atheist, right? She doesn't believe in God, but she doesn't know, right? Okay, and just like most theists are agnostic theists, right? They believe in God, but they don't know either, right? That's where faith comes in. Emily, as Jesus, I remember you doing a video on religion, and Emily, yeah. So there was a video called "My Daughter Meets Christianity" or something like that, where I talked about her interest in it here in America, going to church, experiencing the whole, Christian, I think it was the Protestant strain thing, and basically on her own deciding, I don't see it, and walking away. And she and I, like I said, we rarely talk about it. Rarely. In fact, we did talk a little bit about it today, just a little bit. Good for her. So many religions. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage, rage against the dying of the light. Yes, Dylan Thomas. Nice. I didn't know who said that, but I recognized it. Agnostic is wise. Well, we're all agnostic, right? I mean, who the heck would claim to know? I mean, anybody that could know that God does not exist has got a Nobel Prize in the works, right? Anybody that would know that God does exist would be able to help the world dispense with faith. So I think agnostic is all the case. It's because agnostic or agnostic speaks to knowledge, and nobody really has knowledge either way. Belief is where atheism comes in. So if you're atheism and theist, if you're theist, you believe even though you don't know, and if you're agnostic, or if you're atheist, you don't believe the claim of God, even though you don't know either. The people that are what are called Gnostic atheists or Gnostic theists, the ones that claim to both know and believe, they've got all their work cut out for them. As Christopher Hitchens would say, it's an uphill battle from there. No, he would say the other thing. Okay, the God Delusion, essentially reading. Yes, I loved reading the God Delusion. It was a very good book. Another book that I really liked reading was Losing Faith in Faith. Very, very, very well written book. I forgot your nickname already. Jesus loves everyone, so he'll help anyone. I have to agree. I don't think of church stuff is very true. I've met a Buddhist goddess in some dreams, so I believe in those. Wow. Okay, that's amazing. Met a goddess, right, Kurt? I still enjoy your bicycle with Emily in Japan ever since I saw it way back when. You mean the Bumpity Bump series? Bumpity Bump and Bumpity Bump the sequel? I still, sometimes when we're sitting down and the family's around, I'll pop that up on the TV and throw, especially when Emily's boyfriend shows up, watch an episode of Bumpity Bump on the TV. Nice, Jeff. Buddhism has a lot to offer. I agree. I think Buddhism does have a lot. Not necessarily the. I'm going to have to sign off. I think my doggies want to continue the walk. Not necessarily the religious elements of it, but the getting rid of desire, right? Overcoming desire. Yeah. Agnosticism is a very respectable and reasonable position. Yeah, I think so. I think it's the only honest position. In fact, I agree. I could, just because I've never met anybody that can show evidence either way. I agree, Breggy, but I am a Soto Zen Buddhist. Cool. Thanks, Lee. Love Christopher Hitchens. Left us way too soon. Isn't that true? Yeah, the bumpy path. Hitchens was the great and best luck. Identify as agnostic, atheist, but have always encouraged my daughter to learn about different religions and decide for herself. Heather, we're going to leave it on that. And yep, and Roberto says, yep, that is a great point. You know, show them the example of our own life. Show them the options that are out there. Let them explore and discover. Arm them with the tools of critical inquiry and critical thinking. And welcome from Toronto, Ontario on the website. And let them go, right? Let them go off and discover it for themselves. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. So many comments. 25 of you are here. Thank you. I'm so honored and flattered that you would all come. This means a lot to me. Have an excellent night, Kurt. Love these chats. Me too. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to it as well. Bye-bye. We love. Oh, thank you. That's very nice. Okay. And you're going to have to remind me of your nickname because I forgot it again. Have a great night, Kurt. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye, Rudy. Say goodbye. Good night. Bye-bye. Thanks. What a fun night. Peachy. That's it. See ya.